Hi guys, what's going on? Welcome to another video. Hope you guys are doing well today. Back with another episode of Albion World News. Kind of delayed it a little bit. Nothing was really changing on the map. I think we're losing a little bit of population within the game right now, so things are slowing down a little bit. So we're back. We're going to have a quick look over the Royal Continent. Thetford is taken by Kingdom. Kingdom has done work so far, moving across the Royal Continent. Their flag is all over the place, moving into Martlock. Haven't quite taken Martlock. I believe they did actually launch an attack the other day, but it wasn't successful. Still got sort of Zerg holding a load of territories here. Carleon being surged by the same guild 3 times. I believe it's just taking up the surge slots, the siege slots. Pretty smart tactic there. But yeah, it has been attacked when possible by other guilds. Fort Sterling owned by Nilfgaard as well now. Moving over, we've got Articio Mortis coming back. Obviously another now Zerg guild. Owning Limhurst. Dia Pressa Libra. Haven't really heard too much about these guys. But they look like they're holding quite a few territories here, fighting against House Stark. And then Bridgewatch, still owned by Zorn since day one. So Zerg and Kingdom holding the majority of the Royal Continent. That's two alliances, about 3 or 4 guilds that own just almost all of the Royal Continent. Pretty insane to see there, actually. Moving up then, we've got Anglia. So we're going to look at Dawlish first. We've got this Zorn 5 territories. I'm pretty sure they just don't get used. No one's touched them. They're still here. Moving over, we've got Blackout, pushed out a little bit now, only having sort of 5 or 6 territories over here. GG Alliance have done really well. They're pushing out in all directions at the moment. Got a couple of really strong GVG teams. We've been seeing them every now and again on the official stream. Moving up, we've obviously kind of got Overlords, Headhunters, still split up, Asylum. I believe this attack keeps going on. They keep swapping territories and things like that, but nothing's really happening with it. Again, same thing over here, same sort of situation, Overlords, Headhunters. That was obviously part of the Fury Alliance, which broke down. Then we go into sort of Filthy Casuals owned area. Now, before Filthy Casuals owned all of this area, looks like Black Mamba have kind of pushed in and done great work. Because sort of that, you can see it, that line, Black Mamba's just all over it everywhere. We have actually got Dunsaper there. Interesting to talk about. I've actually got the Guildmaster of Exploited, the guilds that actually took over this city plot through dubious means, we will say, in Discord. So we're going to talk to him in a second about how that happened, bit of a drama update, all that sort of stuff. So could be quite fun. We're going to finish off Anglia first, but Black Mamba just owning everything. Titans on the right here. Titans haven't really expanded too much, but they have held what they've wanted so far. But at this point, Orcs to Kandurus at the bottom. Overlords, obviously ex-Fura. Not sure what alliance they're in now. War Legend Swarm trying to hold this down, but yeah, this really isn't too widely spread of a territory right now. It's just being really held by Hate Alliance, kind of owning the majority. Obviously, Titan's part of Hate as well. I'm not sure what that flag is, actually. Let's have a quick look. Me on my naked horse in Carleon. Frogue 1. I'm not actually sure which alliance they're from. But fair play to them for sort of pushing in. I've heard of the name. Inf. Not really sure which alliance that is. Looks like they're a pretty small guild, but obviously doing well to push into the Black Zone. Yeah, fair play to those guys. Actually holding 2 territories. So yeah, really fair play to these guys. Nice to see a newer guild just sort of push into the Black Zone. Looks like it was only sort of made last month, the guild. Yeah, so fair play to those guys. But yeah, so we're going to introduce Lord Vicious of Exploited. Like I said, he's going to explain a little bit of what happened about the takeover of Dunsaper city territory. And yeah, and then we'll carry on with Albion World News. Hello?
Hey, man.
Hey, what's going on? So, tell me what happened. What happened? How did a guild that was not previously in the Black Zone take over a city plot from Friendly?
A bit of organization and infiltration, my friend.
Yeah, so
And
obviously you were saying you have a little bit of a history in Eve for this sort of thing. Um, Pretty well known in Eve, and then obviously you've come into Albion, and boom, all of a sudden you've walked in and you've got yourself a city plot in sort of lower black zones, but still it's a nice. Someone else has done the work for you as well. Got full T7 buildings.
you know, in Evoline there is a lot of metagaming involving into alliance infiltration and disbanding, and I did that kind of gameplay for like 10 years. And this game, you know, have similar mechanics that allow that. So we were in the right moment, in the right time for doing that. We were living in the area, and Friendly was the nearest enemy. We encountered them a couple of times, and pretty much Rogue Director impersonated their game master in a certain way. He got the game master, and we simply switched the role, and that's how we obtained the spot, the city spot.
So it wasn't a case, you didn't obviously plan it out or anything, it was just sort of right moment, right time, right moment, and you just took advantage of it, right?
I can't really say in one sense or the other, because we have other operation like that going on, but it was less malicious than the people can think about, you know.
Yeah. Obviously, like you said there, you've got other operations and stuff going on. What do you think about the whole sort of exploiting scam? I mean, obviously your guild's called Exploited. What do you think about the whole sort of ability to do that? Do you think it should be part of a game? Do you think it sort of adds another level to a game? Is it something you enjoy doing personally?
I enjoy doing that personally because sometimes it's the strongest weapon to defeat an enemy, and as long as it's done with the game mechanics and you're not cheating, it's fine. But to give you an idea, in Evoline, these stories keep the game going on and interesting to a level where a guy made a crowdfunding campaign to write a book about Evoline histories, including scams and disbandings. So I think that even if some people consider, you know, that kind of things problematic, I think it keep a game alive, keep a game excited, and also it tells the people that they need to choose the right person to put in certain roles.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. You wouldn't, after that sort of situation, you wouldn't kind of just put anyone in the sort of certain positions to give away that sort of power. But yeah, so obviously,
yeah, in a certain sense, I think that this community was a bit naive. Okay, I think Eco Silence did something similar in the last beta to a city plot of a guild I don't even remember, but since it was a beta, nobody cared, you know. But yeah, I think these kind of stories keep the game alive, to be honest.
I mean, it certainly was very interesting to hear. Obviously, I've had people tell me their own renditions of the story as to what happened, but it certainly was very interesting to hear. I woke up one morning and people were messaging me, being like, "Oh, Friendly got scammed and kicked out of the Black Zone." I was like, "Wait, what happened? What?" But yeah, certainly very interesting. Obviously, congratulations on the Black Zone. You've got a hell of a lot of Black Mamba to deal with around you, but obviously we were talking earlier. You said your GVG team's up to the task of putting a bit of pressure onto them. So wish you all the best in the Black Zone. Interesting story. It's really great to hear it. And in fairness, people were asking, do I feel sorry for it? And I kind of don't. If you've done that and if you've made that mistake, it's completely on them, and you're all in your rights. It's within game mechanics, as you said, to take advantage of it. So feel free to give your guild a bit of a shout out. Shout out your website or anything like that if you want.
Yeah, you know, we started as a guild coming from Eve, so we are using Evoline methods, which include these techniques in that sense. And about the GVG and the trouble with Black Mamba is because the leader of the GVG team comes from Team Fanatic. Is a famous, you know, multi-gaming esport association, let's say. So we come from nowhere, you know, we show up in 2 weeks as a guild, and we rapidly grow up, and I think this thing, you know, bring it a little of sensationalism.
I mean, there was definitely publicity to be had from that. Obviously, people knew your name after that, definitely.
In Eve, I was a bit recognized for this kind of tricks and jokes, you know. But coming Albion, we see that nobody's doing a real elite guild. They all work pretty much in the same way. They orbitate around the GVG team, and the majority of the people is recruited a bit easily. So we are trying to do a sort of hardcore group where the minimum requirements, for example, for joining the guild is 6 hours a day.
Oh, wow. So definitely a bit more hardcore than the majority of guilds. But yeah, so wish you the best of luck. Thank you for coming on to the news and having the interview with me. Like I said, it was really interesting to find out what actually happened. I've had different people tell me different things, but we've heard it from the man himself, so we know what happened. But like I said, thank you for coming on. It's much appreciated.
Thank you, Guskey, and or Guskey, as you prefer. You know, and visit exploit.gg.
I'll if you actually send me a link to the website, I'll put it in the descriptions as well of the video.
Thank you.
All right, catch you in a bit. Yeah, so pretty interesting to have that interview. Bit of drama. It's kind of what Albion's about. It's about people backstabbing and things like that. So congratulations to them on the territory. Feel a little bit sorry for Friendly. Obviously, that's game breaking to them. Obviously, they've lost the city plot. They've lost all the T7 buildings and stuff. But ultimately, they made a really big mistake and they kind of paid for it. So it is what it is. But yes, let's continue with the news. So moving over into Cumbria then. I believe the majority of this, you've got No Life, you've got Infinite actually pushing in, trying to do some work. Actually part of the Exploited Alliance. So trying to get some work done. Infinite obviously friendly in there with Exploited as the guild master. And other than that, not really any big names in the guilds. But like I said, Exploited seem to be doing well for themselves. And if they can hold off Black Mamba, then fair play to the guys. But looks like they're attacking actually a couple of territories, trying to push their way into Cumbria. Infinite themselves holding a T8 city plot in Cumbria, so that's a nice alliance for them to have. Albion Choppers actually really holding this. I was kind of a bit unsure if they managed to just get a city plot locked down, a bit of luck on their side, but they look like they're actually really doing work. Seen them in Hellgates a fair bit as well, so fair play to these guys. They're obviously doing well with it. Other than that, we start moving across. We have Grey, which is now part of the Oops Alliance. In with... Oh, no, it isn't, actually. That is wrong. It is now Hate. I believe Grey was in Oops Alliance. It's now in Hate. Actually attacking the city plot of Echo of Silence with a 15% defender bonus. Obviously, with the change we saw recently, city plots are a little bit more accessible to take. Obviously, they're supposed to still be hard. They're supposed to be still really hard to take. It's not supposed to be an easy thing. Obviously, Grey's going to give it a go onto this Echo of Silence. I'm not even sure if Echo of Silence have a team anymore with the drama that with EOS had in total. But other than that, we're just seeing a lot of the Hate Alliance around at the moment. We've got a couple of siege camp territories that aren't taken by Hate, but other than that, it's pretty consistently Hate across Cumbria. They're doing a real good job. I believe that's actually Articulo Mortis pushing in to Cumbria. Articulo Mortis was big in beta. They were very, very well known. They actually split up in beta as well. Bit of a surprise to see these guys come back. Hope they do, though. I got on with quite a few of those guys. Looks like they're trying to push into Mercia, part of the Zerg Alliance, so they've not really got any competition with Exertion here. Potentially trying to push into Gentlemen and go that way. But obviously, Tea Party have now, I think I actually talked about this last time, Tea Party left... Oops, obviously you have Gentlemen left Oops. Oops now is a very, very small guild. An excessively small guild. So we look at that. Oops is Money Guild, Millennium, 18 Backer, Chicken Kiss, and they've kind of absorbed Echo of Silence, Echo of Disiliento. So a little bit bigger than it was a couple of days ago, but still a very small alliance compared to what it was. And interested to see how that's going to work for them. Obviously, they're still in Mercia, still holding their ground. They haven't just lost all their territories. So maybe they're going to be able to keep sustaining it. Maybe not. We don't know yet. Obviously, Gentlemen, pretty good lockdown on their territories right now. Full tier 8. They've got a couple of territories along the way. It doesn't look like they're attacking each other too much in this sort of snowy area. Honestly, this zone hasn't had any fights in it for ages. No one is attacking this area. 8 teams had such a free time of it. They're just nice and chilled in this corner. This forest zone's been a bit hectic, as you can see. There's siege camp onto Money Guild from Conflict, Exertion attacking Money Guild, and Money Guild attacking Exertion. Other than that, obviously you've got all the red territories up here. Grey, obviously being part of the Hate Alliance, actually in the Black Zone, into Mercia. Got Putrescent Sump and all that sort of stuff. So really nice to see these guys holding. Just a couple of different guilds and alliances actually pushing ill. Definitely not Money Guild's Watchtower. Maybe it is a Money Guild. Who knows? Who knows, huh? But yeah, so really interesting to see that we're starting to see a couple of different alliances push into Mercia as well. Obviously, with Oops swapping to Hate, you've now got Black Mamba actually pushed in as well. But yeah, it's definitely very interesting. A couple of different shakes up. Like I said, Hate still holding a good chunk of Cumbria, a massive chunk of Anglia. GG actually pushing out in Anglia. Like I said, they've got 2 or 3 very consistent GVG teams, but other than that, Kings has kind of fallen a little bit apart. Filthy Casuals have been pushed back. Mercenaries have been pushed back, and obviously Blackout are pushed back as well. Fury Alliance is disbanded. In terms of Royal Continent, it's owned entirely by Kingdoms and Zerg, so kind of it's a little bit less variety than it was. However, in Upper Outlands, we're starting to see a couple more, obviously, alliances because they've split. So, definitely fun to see. Just going to go quickly over the leaderboards, looking at this week for fame. What day are we on? We're on Sunday, so it's about to reset, actually, so we're going to get a full week's worth of fame. Wow, 39.2 million crafting fame. That's just crazy. 32.6 of this is this week, which is just even more crazy. But yeah, we're seeing some major amounts. Obviously, crafting is the main source of fame for a lot of these guys. That's Mohican, actually. 41.9 million crafting fame, and then 13 mil mob fame, 11.4 mil player fame. That's pretty insane right there. Yearsen, another one. Actually, 16.4 mil player fame, 14 mil mob fame, 9.6 crafting. Probably one of the highest, actually, especially this week. That isn't just like a pure craft gain. Like that is 75 mil purely from crafting. Moving into kill value, Hailser, Black Mamba, obviously they've been putting in work. We've seen how many territories these guys have got. These guys are GVGing a lot. It's not surprising that between that and Hellgates, they're higher on the kill value. Mercenarios actually holding pretty high on the kill value as well. I imagine these guys have had some GVGs recently. Let's have a look through the couple of last kills. Running around is 7-1, 7-2. I imagine these guys aren't messing around. King Mojo, Nilfgaard. We see this Nilfgaard team a lot in Hellgates, actually. Obviously, they've done a couple of GVG fights as well. A little bit more spread out. A couple of names we haven't actually seen in a while. And a couple of names that are new up here. So, yeah, interesting to see, definitely. The kind of bit more variety. It's always nice. Silver Collected, can have a look at it. Don't really care too much because it's cheesed. A lot less than it has been in recent weeks, though. Just throwing that out there. And that's probably just because of the chest change. Resource value, 3.2 million. Don't understand how you do it, you crazy, crazy man. 15.4 million gathering fame is just insane. Don't understand how you can do it, to be honest. Moving into the guilds then, kill value. Again, it's not particularly surprising that this is the order. Obviously, Black Mamba, lots of GVGs, Mercenarios. We saw them in that. Obviously, they must be doing quite a lot of GVGs in themselves, and Hellgates and things like that. Exertion, Nilfgaard, Money Guild, all in Mercia. Their GVGs are for massive amount of fame. So again, not surprising that we're seeing these guys high. Team Casualty, Red is Dead. Not surprising the guilds we're seeing up in the top of this kill value list. In terms of fame, 350 mil onto Black Mamba. That is 75 mil more than Mercenarios, and obviously it just goes down from there. That's just insane. We look at that. There's actually less members in Hate than there is in Mercenarios. Pretty insane that they've got that amount of fame. Really well done to these guys. Silver collected, gonna have a look at it, don't really care. Resource value, 37.5 mil resource value on Black Mamba. You can definitely see why these guys are doing so well at the moment. They're just at the top of every leaderboard by a mile. No Life second, actually. No Life have kind of fallen off a little bit. Now a member of Hate. But again, these guys are still pushing that resource value. And then we start seeing some more common names. Again, nice to see Articular Mortis coming back into the sway of things. Territories owned. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, so Kingdom. Kingdom is part of the old Envy team. Obviously, Eidos was part of the original Envy. They've kind of come in. Obviously, a lot of them territories, if not all of them territories, are Royal Zone. However, they've only got 49 members. They are pushed through the entirety of the Royal Continent. 49 members. Really well played to these guys. Obviously attacking a lot, defending a lot. It's a lot of pressure they're putting on themselves to hold that much, but fair play to them for being able to do it. 29 for Black Mamba. They've obviously pushing around, doing a lot of work. Nilfgaard at 15. Let's actually have a look at last week. 30. No Life actually had 18 last week. Pushed down to 14 this week. Money Guild 16 last week. 15 this week. So not too many changes, but still it's a bit crazy. Pushing into the alliances then, the kill value, not surprising, hey, Zerg, Oops, Arch, just because it's a Zerg guild. Oh, I mean, to be fair, they've dropped like 800, 900 members since I last had a look at them. But yeah, it's not surprising who we're seeing in the sort of the top 9. PoE, who's this? Load of guilds that I don't have. Veterans Guild I've heard of. And I've heard of Crimson Emporium, DDoS, Brazil Forces, Dryads. It's the old, yeah, this is the old actual Brazil Forces setup that was in beta. But yeah, so not really surprising who we're seeing in the top 10 here. In terms of fame, I imagine it's going to be a similar story. Yeah, Zerg, Arch, Hate, Kings, Gear, Red, Oops. So looking at GG, 775 members. That's actually crazy how low they are. Fair play to them for how well they're doing on that. Oops, another 400, 500 members on top. Another 200 members on top again. But huge jump. I mean, 7th to 8th. That's a huge jump. That's over 300 mil difference in one jump. That's less than like 80 mil between the next jump after that. For nearly 800 players as well. So again, Red, very, very efficient to have that high with only 1,500 members. Kings, a little bit higher again, but over a bill. Zerg obviously drops back down then by a massive amount. Very efficient guilds in this alliance. Very strong guilds as well. Arch, pretty much just get there because they got numbers. And then Hate, actually having 3,000 members. Very big alliance. I'm actually a part of Hate now. It's a very big alliance, and I'm not sure how okay with that I am, but the problem is they are very, very efficient, very strong as an alliance. You can't fault them at all. Silver collected, gonna have a look, don't really care. Resource value, that is insane. 60 mil more resource on a guild that isn't even in Mercia. Arch, Kings actually, which is surprising that these guys are so high after that, is because they're a big alliance, I get it. However, they're stuck in Anglia, which isn't going to be given the best fame. Zerg, Gear, Red, Oops. Not surprising who comes after that. Unity. Actually, I haven't seen Unity. Oh, it's the Goodfellas Alliance. Okay. Memento Mori, guild I knew of in beta. Goodfellas I knew of in beta as well. So, yeah, we're seeing the same sort of names when it comes to alliances. When it comes to territories owned, Hate having 81 alliances, pretty insane. Compared to last week, having 82, they've actually lost the territory, which is crazy. Zerg, 47 compared to 48. Oops, what happened? 36 to 34. Not really too much changing around. Actually, wow, Envy gained, what, 7 territories this week? That's pretty insane of these guys. Fair play to them. But yeah, so this is Albion World News. Thank you for watching. Obviously, we've had our first interview on Albion World News. Hope you've enjoyed that. Like, comment, subscribe. Catch you later. Thank you for watching. Catch you later. Goodbye.